Like, do that thing that really drives you, because again, happiness is really the name of the game. We can figure out how to make enough money to cover bills, but we can't replace the time that we have. We can't replace the years leading up to that. So you have to take advantage of today, because that's all that we have guaranteed.
I was made for this. Yeah. I was made for this. I was made for this.
Today, I have the new magazine coming out. So I wanted to talk about my process and kind of the journey of creating my own magazine and going over the different levels of prototypes that maybe not everyone's seen, and talk about that. So, first off, why did I do this? Who creates a book about themselves? It's a bit weird, but at the same time, I thought it was really cool. So I was turning 29 and about to be 30. My dad was 30 when he had me, and I just went through this like I explained in the first one. It was like a second puberty, that moment where you kind of transition from being a kid to really being an adult. One of the things that I realized was you're gonna die. And a lot of people wait until the end of their life, and then they're like, oh, I should write about my life. I had my grandpa's life history, and I took it with me when I was in France, and I was just fascinated with people that would, just normal people would read this normal person's writing. It was weird. People were finishing his book, and I hadn't even read it. I brought it with me and hadn't read it yet, and then I had friends that I was with that were like, oh man, it's just interesting to see a normal life. So it all started out with, every year we would make these books for our parents and give them at Christmas time. And over the years, it kind of changed from this like book of pictures to then it got to be in this paper. And one of the magazines that I don't have here that really affected me was the Kinfolk. I know a lot of people have seen it. It was incredible to me. It was the first time I saw a magazine that had no advertisement in it. If you know, they do now, but the first ones, the first issues they launched with was just all about connecting with people, and it had, beautiful designs, large photography, and it really struck me. So this is just like my magazines are just a conglomerate of the things that I've been influenced by, and that's just kind of how it works. Nothing's really original. We just kind of borrow from what we find in life. Another important reason why it matters who you hang around with and the things that you do, because that affects what you create. Another thing to talk about is, right after I printed this, I shipped maybe 3 or 4, and then I really quickly went back and renamed to 3V, which is French for 3 lives. And that's really the core of the concept that I was really trying to do. Again, they follow my life. So 30, 31, 32, 33. I'm in my 34th year right now, so the next magazine that comes out will be issue 34. So at the end, when my birthday is when I put up for pre-order for the next one. And it kind of just tracks what that year was for me. So instead of at the end of my life writing back about it, it's kind of in the moment. This is my journey as I kind of woke up to life and started going, hey, how about I make decisions for myself and not just be given it by other areas. So as I was designing this, I was using an online on-demand publishing company called Blurb, and I tried their magazine first, which is this, which you'll see is actually larger than what I have now. So it's taller, wider, and then also just like the paper quality, it feels more like a cheaper magazine. I wanted it, when Kinfolk really first came out, it was the first time that it was like a mix to me of like, it felt more like a book, but it was a publication that, you know, quarterly publication, like a magazine. So it was like this mix of the two worlds that I just thought was really cool. So I wanted something that felt better in your hand. Also, a lot of it was uncoated paper, so not the glossy like this was. But one of the things I did here is I did this, sent it off, got it back, and I was just like, it's not what I want. It's not the quality that I want to create. So what I did was I actually created a brand guide, and I had a PDF of it. I created it in a 6x9 book, and this was really to kind of solidify my mind. I knew I wanted to do for the next 10 years, you know, one each year for the next 10 years of my 30s, and but it costs money to print these things, so I wanted to print another one to try and find the right paper, the right medium that I wanted. The magazine one didn't work. I printed this, which is a travel book on blurb.com, and I printed the smaller format so it was cheaper just to test it out. And I really liked it, and then that's how these new ones came, right? So now all of them. But I think it's important to talk about when you're creating something, at least for me, I wanted to create something that was sustainable. I'd been working in an area where we really try and focus on creating businesses, and so I didn't have any expertise in that area. I'd been making software for 5 years at that time, and so I wanted to create a laboratory for creating a product and creating a business, and to really learn. I wanted to be able to test things and see how I could create business models that would be able to sustain itself. So that's why when I was looking for who I could publish with, I wanted to make sure the quality was really good. That was important. But I also wanted to make sure that it was something that I didn't have to buy a big inventory. And I didn't have that kind of capital. It needed to be something that could be printed on demand and could be low enough that I could keep the price down. And so for each magazine that I create, it is $18.59 to print, and then shipping and handling, and then on top of that I have $5 that goes to helping fight human trafficking, and then on top of that is what I get. So it's a small profit when people buy them, and that's what I wanted. It was a long-term game. This wasn't anything that, I'm gonna get rich quick and be able to quit my job or anything. That wasn't the focus. It was really about creating something that I could manage over time, that would not cost a lot of money to keep up, and just wanted to create a product. And I started looking at what I really cared about, and this is kind of where it came from. So I think the important things to keep in mind is I started really just gathering all these indie magazines because I just loved them, and all of them together kind of mixed into one became what inspired mine. And it's shifted over time, and that's another part that I wanted, was to be able to manage the brand over time. So I actually wrote an in-depth case study on everything I did to create the magazine, what I used to lay out, and how I publish it. And so I'll leave a link to that below. But this was really just kind of, I'm excited about the new one coming out, and I just wanted to talk about my process of creating publications. So I've done 4, next year will be 5. I have some really cool things in store for the next magazine that are in the works, and I'm not going to talk about them yet, but I'm really excited about it. It's really not anything that people care about right now. I've sold 12 in all of them. Not 14 with the pre-orders that are out right now. So it's not like they're flying off the shelves, but at the same time, in another 5 years, I'll be about to publish my 10th. So it's kind of at that point where it's like, who does one of these magazines, let alone 10, and then 15 and 20. It's just something that it really is going to, it's a long game mindset. Over time, and even if no one ever reads them, it's really something. If I were to die today, if I were to find out that I get hit by a car or something happens and you have, 4 months to live, I feel really good of what I have put out, what my kids can read about me, what my grandkids can find out about me, and again, Gary Vee is one of the people I follow. One of the things he talks about is that happiness is really the ROI. So I have a day job that pays my bills, and I created this to be able to find that happiness that I was looking for. I feel really good in the morning waking up knowing that I've written the things that really matter to me, things that I really care about, and I get to share them with other people. And it just blows my mind that I get to do this, and nobody gave me permission. I just decided I was going to do it, and that's the freedoms that I have is just incredible. And if you've been wondering, should I do something like this? Should I do something crazy? You gotta just listen to it, and it's gonna be hard. It's not easy. I was just talking to my friend today, and just saying is this something that is sustainable? It's not really taking me anywhere, but at the same time, I just absolutely love it. So thanks for watching. Hey, talk to me about what you're creating. I think one of my greatest strengths is that I love hyping people up, and I will encourage you to follow that thing that you want to do. And sometimes that's just what you need. You just need a cheerleader, and I'm really good at that. So if you're working on something, photography, design, communications, a magazine, whatever it is, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to talk and give you my point of view, explain the things that I've learned, and if I can help in any way. And if you just need someone to be like, hey, I have this idea, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna be like, holy cow, yeah, do that thing that really drives you. Because again, happiness is really the name of the game. We can figure out how to make enough money to cover bills, but we can't replace the time that we have. We can't replace the years leading up to that. So you have to take advantage of today, because that's all that we have guaranteed. All right, done with my rant. Thanks for watching. If you're interested, please reach out on Twitter, Instagram, here on YouTube, leave comments. I'm more than happy to jump in, share details, talk, email me, and we can hop on a call. So if you have questions about anything, how to tell stories, whatever you need, I am more than happy to talk to people. That's really what I'm looking to do, is just connect with other creatives trying to pursue their passion. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.